Good morning, students. Our today's topic is lesson 4, sorting the material into groups from the NCERT book class 6. When you look around, you see a large number of things like desks, chairs, blackboards, doors, fans, water bottles and pencil boxes. At your home also you find many things like toys, mobiles, clothes, shoes, computers and so on. All these things are objects. So what we can say? Anything that we can see or touch is called an object. All objects differ in shape, size, color and many other aspects. But all objects are made up of materials and have different properties. Next you see a grocery shop has many things. If all the things were dumped together at one place, the shopkeeper would not be able to find the things that the buyers want. But in most grocery stores, things are arranged systematically. Now, what is the advantage that if the things are arranged systematically, then what happens? It becomes very easy to locate a particular thing. If we keep the things systematically, then what happens? That it becomes very easy for us to locate a particular thing. So, what is the advantage of sorting and placing things in groups? So, the advantage is that if we keep the things properly in the systematic way by sorting them in groups, then what happens? It will be very easy for us to locate a particular thing. Now, what is classification? Grouping different objects on the basis of certain similarities and dissimilarities is called classification. Now, what are the advantages of classification? Classification has the following advantages. Number 1, it helps in systematic study of the object. That means it's very easy for us to locate a particular thing if we keep the things in a systematic way. Then that means we can study the object systematically. Number 2, it helps in identifying and locating the things. So it is very easy for us if we classify the objects on the basis of their similarities and dissimilarities, then it is very easy for us to identify them and also locating the things. Number 3, it helps us to study the properties of objects. So it is very, very important. So what are the properties of the particular object? If you classify them properly, then it is very easy for us to study the properties. For example, the texture, the state, then transparency, then color, shape, size. So these are the properties of an object. So easily we can study the properties of the object. Fourth one is it helps us to know how the members of a particular group differ from those of the other group. So, what are the characteristics or properties of the members of one group, and what are the properties or the characteristics of members of other groups, how they are different from each other. So if we classify one object on the basis of the similarities and dissimilarities, then it is very easy for us to study them, to identify them, to locate them, and to study their properties and the differences. Next, what is material? A material is a substance which is used in making different objects. Now, all the objects are made of one or more kinds of materials. Materials are of two types, natural material or the man-made material. The materials which are obtained from nature are known as natural materials. For example, wood. Man-made materials are the materials which are made by humans in factories by combining two or more materials. For example, plastic. Now, an object made of different materials. The same object may be made of different materials. For example, we use plate. So, plate may be made of plastic, paper, stainless steel, brass, silver. So this is the example that an object, the plate is one object and it is made of different materials. We can make a plate from plastic or from paper or from steel or from brass or silver. Second point is different types of objects made of same material. So for example, here plastic is a material. It is a material, one type of material, and it can be used to make different kinds of objects like mug, then toys, then utensils, bags, toothbrush, buckets, etc. So here we can see this is an example of the different types of objects made up of same material. So these are the different types of objects which are made of only one material, that is plastic. Then third one, you see an object made up of a combination of materials. So the example is biscuits. So biscuit is made of maida, that is a wheat flour. Then number 2, sugar, milk and ghee or oil. So what we can say that one object, that is the biscuits, and it is made of a combination of materials. So what we can say? We can say that all the objects are made of maybe one or more kinds of materials. All the materials are made up of matter. So what is matter? Anything that occupies space and has mass is called a matter. So everything in this universe is made up of matter. But what is a matter made up of? A matter is made up of extremely small particles called atoms. An atom is very small and it cannot be seen with naked eyes. So let us take a piece of gold and break it. So what we will get? We will get the smaller pieces of gold. Now, if we break again these smaller pieces of gold, it will change more small pieces. More small pieces. The smallest piece of gold is the gold atom. Similarly, the smallest particle of silver and iron is also atom. Now, let us take one example that is water. Water is made up of hydrogen and oxygen. So, what we will say, the water consists of atoms of hydrogen and atoms of oxygen. So what the smallest particle of water is the one molecule of water. So one molecule of water contains two hydrogen atoms and one oxygen atom. So it is H2O. So two hydrogen atom and one oxygen atom make one molecule of water.